Hello everyone, welcome back to another Warhammer multiplayer battle. This is going to be the Edgy Elves versus the Wood Elves, the aggressive Forest Elf. I was trying to think of a catchy name and it just didn't come to the tongue. Anyway, so for the Edgy Elves here, we went with a pretty wide formation with only a few elite units. Our main line is made up of 2 Dread Spears, one on each side, which the other end is way over here, and then all of these are going to be bleak swords. We also have very fast movers. We have a total of 4 Dark Riders with shields. 2 are deployed with the army right here and here, and then 2 are going to be deployed back here in a vanguard. There they are. They're going to be moving up here soon. They're not going to be let's say forgotten like some other puppies in another replay I did recently. Then we also have some more fast movers in the air with 3 Harpies, because I do love my Harpies, especially against a faction that is known to have very good ranged units. So I brought 3 Harpies. For the actual strong units, stronger, we have a Feral Manticore, we have a Black Dragon with its breath, and then we have the leader, Morathi. Mama Morathi on top of her Hellsteed here, which still grants her a bonus versus large and armor piercing because she has a halberd weapon. She still has decent stats, and more importantly, she moves very fast on a Hellsteed. I think it's called Hellsteed, right? I think that's what that one is. But for spells, anyway, we have the Power of Darkness, which is going to sap strength from our own units and give us Winds of Magic. We have the Soul Stealer, which is going to sap strength from enemy units and give Morathi health. And then I also brought the Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma because it's a pretty cheap spell, and it has a nice debuff on the enemy speed. We also have Soul Blight on top of that, which is going to be an AoE debuff for armor and weapon damage, and then also Doom and Darkness, which will also lower leadership of enemy units. I was trying to do a... kind of just break leadership is the idea with whenever you bring Doom or Darkness and try and make them rout and be all afraid. For her actual weapons here, we have the Heartrender and Darksword, which grants a gives a -9 melee defense and melee attack debuff for units around her, and it also has the Enchanted Beauty, which stacks with this debuff. I've talked about these before in a previous video, so I won't go too deep into this, but it's a nice, I like these. I really like putting these 2 on her. It's just very solid area debuff that goes along well with the Soul Blight as well. So she's a powerful debuffer, and she can keep herself alive with the Soul Blight. So that is going to be our army. For the enemy Wood Elf army, their main line is going to be made up of 3 Dryads being supported by a Branch Wraith with the heal spell, and then also the Pendulum. The Branch Wraith also comes with a buff, Call of the Woods, which grants all units around them +5 to the melee attack. So that's going to be the main line here. Their mid line is made up of 2 War Dancers with spears, 3 War Dancers with dual swords. Their Glade Lord is going to be their leader of this battle. And let's actually take a quick look at the Glade Lord here, because no one ever really brings them. Not mounted, but the Glade Lord does still have a bow, so they are a hybrid unit here. They do have fear because they brought the Banner of the Hunter King, which is a unique item for this. I don't know if the female Glade Lord gets this or not, because honestly, I never bring them. So Banner of the Hunter King, we have a +5 melee attack charge bonus, and it can cause fear in an aura around them. And then they also have the Call of the Woods, but this will not stack with the Branch Wraith because it is the same ability. So it's not going to grant you a double +5, so you can't stack these on top of each other. But it will stack up nicely with the Banner of the Hunter King. Those 2 will obviously stack. So it's a +10 to melee attack with units around this specific unit, and they brought Helm of the Discord, which is a really good debuff for enemies around this target. Helm of Discord is a very solid item. But besides that, they do magical damage. They can fire at range. They have really good melee stats, but they have pretty low armor, so they're going to really rely on their higher melee defense. Their weapon strength is not really all that great, but again, they can hit with their bow. So the male Glade Lord, usually you mount them on like a dragon, but they opted not to for this time, which is very rare indeed. But I do like it. No one ever really picks the male Glade Lord, so it's nice to see them. Besides that, so that's the midline. They also have 2 Sisters of the Thorn hiding over here in the trees. They come with the spells, Curse of Honor in here, so each of them have 1 charge of that, and then each of them have 2 charges of the Shield of Thorns, which is a really good buff spell for your friendly units. And so they have 4 free casts of that total with these 2 Sisters of Thorn. They also brought 2 spellcasters. One was a Branch Wraith, and they also have a Spell Singer of Beast back here, activating their Power Stone already to get more Winds of Magic. The spells they brought for this person is going to be another Curse of Honor in here, and then Flock of Doom. So between the Spell Singer of Beasts and the 2 Sisters of Thorn, that's 3 potential Curse of Honor and Here's out at the field at once. And it's a pretty powerful debuff spell. I don't know if I actually looked over it here real quick. It's going to lower their melee attack speed and accuracy. For me, it's mostly going to affect my speed and melee attack because we don't really have any archers for the accuracy, but still, it's a pretty powerful debuff that lasts for 39 seconds, which is a very long time to have your melee attack and speed and accuracy if it's, you know, applicable to be hit on your entire army. And then in the backline, we also have 2 additional Eternal Guard bringing up the rear. Okay. Let's go. So, the main battle line is going to take place, I believe, about like right here-ish. I think I try and Dragon Breath one of these War Dancers because they're going to be one of our biggest threats to our main line. The Bleak Swords, while very powerful against archers because they have a really good missile block chance, and they have decent stats overall, honestly. They're not really bad at all. But against War Dancers are the anti-infantry, so they really excel at killing low armor targets like very cheap infantry, such as Bleak Swords. So we're going to do a Dragon Breath, I believe, on this unit right here as they start charging in. And then we're going to try and focus on killing their Glade Lord because they're extended here. They're moving up and not really firing too much because they want to support the War Dancers with the +10 melee attack, which is why these War Dancers are sporting a 54 melee attack on the charge with a 26 charge bonus. Like, our Bleak Swords are going to melt. But we are going to get Morathi over here. They're popping the Helmet Discord to try and counter Morathi and our Bleak Swords. They're bringing up the War Dancers with spears over here. I really want to try and kill the Glade Lord as fast as possible, so we're going to be bringing the Dragon in here, but we are fighting against spears over here as well. We're going to have our two Dark Riders with shields coming up over here, and most of our Dark Riders are going to be fighting. You see here, we're already charging one of the Sisters of Thorn right over here. We're going to be sending one of our other Dark Riders up here to try and destroy the Sisters of Thorn. The other Sister of Thorn is already throwing some shots over into our Bleak Swords. They've already cast... Sorry, there's a lot going on. They've already cast a Pendulum over here against the Bleak Swords. They also cast a Curse of Honor here on these two Bleak Swords, so that really assisted these two Dryads, just overwhelming our two Bleak Sword units over here. We're pulling our Dread Spears back towards the center, I think, to try and assist in this general area. But so we already have, I believe, two Curse of Honor here's down and a Pendulum from the Spellslinger Beast. Two Dark Riders are going to be going after them. The other two Dark Riders, I think, are going to try and force on to this Sisters of Thorn. Sorry, I paused it, but there's a lot going on. We're also moving our Manticore over there as well to try and bring them down. Actually, I guess it's just chasing a War Dance right now. But meanwhile, over here, Mama Morathi is taking so much damage. This is really not where she wants to be, but I had her down here because we're trying to destroy the male Glade Lord, but she got caught up on the spears. But that's okay because we do have the Soul Cipher's ability, so we're going to be casting that spell here relatively soon on the Glade Lord, I believe, to try and suck some of the life back. But in the meantime, we're just going to be having the Dragon and her just trying to kill the Glade Lord. We have the Manticore coming back from fighting against the War Dancers over there. In the background, the Dark Riders, again, are going to be just charging the Sisters of Thorn. We need to try and shut down their mobility units. I want to have the fastest units on the battlefield. That's kind of the goal of what I'm doing right now, so that's why we're trying to focus down these Sisters. Also, on top of that, we want to try and prevent as much spell casting from them as possible. The longer they stay in the battle, the more spells they're going to be casting, the more javelins they're going to be throwing. Another Pendulum going down there on our Dread Spears that we're holding back the Dryads. A really good Pendulum there, so that's going to be able to rout these Dread Spears. A lot of my melee infantry are now dead. All we really have left are the Harpies, which one is going after the Spellslinger Beast. Another one is going to be assisting our Dark Riders over here with the Sisters of Thorn and the Eternal Guard, and the other one is fighting another Eternal Guard over here because, again, they are only infantry sized, so they do not take bonus damage versus the large spears. Over here, we managed to finally rout the Glade Lord. We are going to chase them just for a little bit, but they will come back from routing somewhere over here, so they will be showing their heads up into this fight once again. Over here, we have another soul. I'm sorry, I think that's our first Soul Blight going down to try and support the Dark Riders who did a quick charge, and also, more importantly, the Bleak Swords holding back the War Dancers and the well, actually, I guess they're all War Dancers. Sorry. Anyway, over here, our actual powerful force is going to be trying to isolate this force, which is kind of way overextended from everything else. So we're just going to pile everything that we have nearby and try to rout these three Dryads, which is doing a really good job. The branch rate that was rolling with these Dryads is peeled off and is chasing these Bleak Swords. And I believe the Spellslinger of Beasts is going to eventually pull into this force as well, because I'm going to be pulling back our Harpies, I think, and sending them down here to try and isolate, or further isolate and destroy these forces. Bleak Swords still hanging around, but the enemy is wise to what I'm doing and is going to try and reinforce their Glade Lord over here as well as the rest of the Dryads that are still alive. So they're going to try and peel off from this Bleak Sword unit and get into our command unit here with Morathi and the Dragon, which is a good call. You can see Morathi, though, after his Soul Siphon ability has been activated, I think maybe once or maybe twice at this point. She is almost back up to full health, even after taking all that damage from the War Dancers. It's a really solid spell. I highly recommend you take the Soul Siphon ability every single time you use her, because it can really make her last a lot longer in battle and correct your mistakes of leaving her in a fight against spears. It helps correct that. Meanwhile, back here, we are still dealing with one of the Sisters of Thorn with the two of our Dark Riders. Actually, maybe managed to rout them at this point. Oh, yeah, actually, there they go. So we managed to rout one Sisters of Thorn with our two Dark Riders. We took a lot of damage doing it, but I think it is a well worthwhile trade to get rid of the Sisters of Thorn. The other two Dark Riders, I believe, are going to be over here helping us to destroy the rest of the War Dancers and Dryads. So you can see we have basically split their army in half-ish. So while they were back here dealing with our fast movers, we were over here dealing with the rest of our infantry. And the thing is, being fast movers, we can disengage whenever we want to and just run away, which is what we did here with a lot of our harpies that are now flying over our formation. And now there is going to be basically just a final clash here. I still have all 4 of my Dark Riders heavily damaged, but they are still around. The enemy just has the Sisters of Thorn, 1 War Dancer, their Spellsinger, a Beast, a Branch Wraith is now coming back from routing off one of my Bleak Swords off the map over there. And then they have 1 group of Eternal Guard, which is still pretty fresh. So what I'm going to do is send our Black Dragon over here, and we're going to target the Eternal Guard because they still have most of their hit points and models left. And you can see I have a lot of my units, a lot of battered and bruised units, because they took a heavy damage during the initial fighting these Dread Spears and Bleak Swords did. But we still have our command squad being Morathi and the Dragon, and the Pharaoh Manticore is still really healthy with the help of the Soul Siphon spell there of Morathi. And we're going to do a charge here on the remaining leadership of the Spell Singer of Beasts. And that is going to be spelling the doom, basically, for the Wood Elves. They do not have enough left on the field, so we're going to kind of just clean up the Spell Singer, clean up the Branch Wraith. Actually, this is a little bit longer than I thought, but we will be winning this fight, obviously, at this point. So I was just kind of fast-forwarding. So now we're on the Branch Wraith, and there we go. They're going to tear her out and take army losses, and that is going to be the GG. So thanks for playing, or thanks for watching. Oh, and GG to wins. Thank you for sitting here watching this, friends. I don't know what the hell. It was a good game. I enjoyed that one. Morathi got a lot of kills. Let's go watch a cinematic view of that fight, everybody, before I fall into shambles. What up, Dryads? Oh, my poor dragon getting hit. What will we do? I know what we'll do. We'll burn them! There it is. Went in to attack the Blade Lord, ended up attacking the War Dancers. Beautiful. I love it. I love it. Some of that Dark Rider love. Oh, here we go. Sisters of Thorn, still one of the coolest looking units, I think. I feel like the Dark Riders are pretty good for their price. Them and like the Illyrian Reavers, both really solid for how much they cost. Like their high elf counterpart. So that's the Cav battle. I think we're beating up the Glade Lord back there. Yeah, I think he's been beat at this point. I think this is probably the Soul Stealer ability, maybe? I think. I cast it on this pocket of resistance. Maybe this is. Just a mass of wings and death. I think we already routed off the Glade Lord again at that point. There goes half your units. So many wings. It's hard to even tell what's going on down there. There's just wings. This is the poor branch wraith who's all on their own. Buried in here somewhere. There you are. And there we go. Hope you enjoyed, everybody. I enjoyed this kind of more mobile, fast attacker build there for Morathi. I will see you all next time. Take care.